What is up, Jet Nation? What is up, YouTube? Sean back with another episode on the JETS Jets Show. Gonna be covering another positional review. Before we get to that, if you guys like the content, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you get updated on my next video when it drops. And of course, if you like the content, subscribe. Would love to have you. Appreciate all the new subscribers out there. So let's get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about the positional review of the edge, defensive end, whatever you guys want to call the position. I know it goes by a couple different names at this point in the league, but we have a loaded roster at this position. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how things shake out in training camp, if there's any injuries and things like that. So let's just run down the list of players that I have that could play edge or defensive end. We have Jermaine Johnson, Bradley Anae, Michael Clemens, Vinny Curry, John Franklin Myers, Bryce Huff, Carl Lawson, Jacob Martin, Hamilcar Rashid. We have Tim Ward, and we have Jabril Zuniga. So, I mean, right off the bat right here, that last name, Jabril Zuniga, I think he's a goner. With all the guys we have at this position, I don't see him making any way he makes the roster. Again, Tim Ward, saw some nice flashes from him, has familiarity with his defensive scheme, but I think we are just too talented at this position. I really don't see him making the roster. Hamilcar Rashad Jr., I did like him coming out of college. I was super happy we scooped him up as a rookie free agent, and I did see some nice things out of him last year, both in training camp and during the season when he did get a little chance to get on the field and stuff. But again, too top heavy. I definitely see him as a guy that will clear waivers or should clear waivers, and we can stack him on the practice squad. So I believe we have 11. I think we have 11 defensive ends here, but those are the guys that I think I'm going to cut off this list pretty much right now. I think Rashad would be a great practice squad guy. And then another one that I see as an option for the practice squad is Bradley Anae. Bradley Anae had some promise coming over from the Cowboys when we signed him in the offseason. But again, too top heavy. I mean, we got guys on this list. I'm going to go over the top guys right now. I mean, you're going to have Carl Lawson and John Franklin Myers probably being your starting defensive ends. After that, you still got Vinny Curry and Jermaine Johnson, the rookie first-round pick, as your backups. I mean, you're 4 deep already, and you're pretty much loaded. And that doesn't even count Michael Clemens or Bryce Huff or Jacob Martin. So I'm a little torn on how many guys we're going to keep at this position. I mean, obviously, the 2 rookies, Michael Clemens, Jermaine Johnson, are making this roster. Carl Lawson, Jacob Martin are making this roster. They're big free agent signings. John Franklin Myers is definitely on this roster. And I think then it comes down to, all right, we have Bryce Huff and Vinny Curry. I feel like Vinny Curry was almost a guy we brought back in depending on what happened in the draft. We ended up getting 2 edge rushers in the draft. Curry's getting a little long in the tooth. He's had a lot of injury issues, but he's also a leader. So, I mean, breaking down this position and who's going to make the roster is definitely been pretty tough for me. If you consider John Franklin Myers an interior defensive lineman, you still keep 5 of these guys. I'm going with Jermaine Johnson, Michael Clemens, Bryce Huff, Carl Lawson, and Jacob Martin. There's also some buzz out there about possibly trading Bryce Huff. I don't know if he really has much of any trade value at this point. Maybe you can steal a 6th-round pick or something like that for him, or do a pick swap and then move up in the draft next year or something with him. Similar to what we did with maybe a Chris Herndon last year. Him in a 6th for a 4th or something like that. But I don't see a whole ton of value in him as a trade piece. I like him a lot more as a depth piece. I think you're going to be rotating these guys a lot. So I do think I could see you keeping 6 of those guys. I think you can keep Jermaine Johnson, Michael Clemens, John Franklin Myers, Carl Lawson, Jacob Martin, and Bryce Huff. So, but again, one of these guys is probably going to get hurt. So that's another reason you might see all these guys make the roster. This defense is predicated on the edge, and the edge play, and the defensive line play in general. This whole defense is. So we're going to need the depth, and it's going to be really important for us to get through a season because that's how this entire defense is built. I'd really love to know what you guys think in the comments of which of these guys you think is likely to get cut, traded, what have you, where you think they're going to end up, or how you think they're going to, be moved, whether that's being traded or being cut, what have you. I want to know who your top 5 guys on this list are. Like I said, mine: Michael Clemens, Jermaine Johnson, Carl Lawson, Jacob Martin, and John Franklin Myers. And if I move John Franklin Myers to inside solely, then I'm probably putting, Bryce Huff on that list. So I do think I like Bryce Huff more than Vinny Curry at this point. I like the youth, I like the speed off the edge, and he showed some really good flashes over the past 2 years. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Love having you guys here, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.